Welcome everybody. Welcome. We all make choices, right? Every day we make choices. And so you made a choice to come here tonight, and maybe you had a good friend that invited you. Maybe it was a complete stranger that came up to you and said, come to this event and listen. And you know, either way, I just want to thank you for being open to come and to listen to what we have to offer. We are very, very happy to be here in Queenstown. It's such a beautiful place. We've been here for a week doing the work that we do, and we have thoroughly enjoyed the amazing scenery and the amazing weather that we've had. And tonight is going to be our final completion night. And we are very fortunate to have some wonderful guests here who have come all the way from, well, they spend their lives kind of half a year in Colorado in the States, and the other half being in New Zealand and Australia, and helping all of us and really you know, giving their time so generously and giving their experience so generously. I've had the privilege of working, you know, one-to-one with Krista, who I will be inviting up, and it's just been a wonderful experience. And so we will have a little bit of their time and a little bit of their wisdom, and so I just want to invite them to come up. Now, Krista has been involved as a natural healthcare practitioner for 40 years, so she has got an extraordinary knowledge there. So if you have any questions around products which we will share here tonight, you know, don't be shy to ask, because this is the time to ask a question. And Michael Jude is here as an economist. He's worked in, you know, corporations. He knows the other side, and he will talk a little bit about that. And they made a choice, and they made a choice from their hearts, from what they, from the things they learned, and from the things they experienced, and they've come into this place. And so you made a choice here to come and listen, and yeah, I'm sure you will learn lots of things. So thank you for coming today.
Thank you. Hi, welcome.
Thank you all for being here. I see some familiar faces and some not so familiar faces. So thank you for, just like Francisca said, for being willing to come and have a listen to what we are so passionate about in our lives and what we are sharing with other people. So our journey with this started about 15 years ago. And for me, it was a combination of things. I'd been looking for a long time for something that I could offer my clients that would form a very strong, solid foundation for people to build a level of health where they could have a quality of life to do whatever they wanted to do. And I wanted something that was easy, something that was safe, something that would fulfill that role of filling in all the gaps that are missing in our bodies because of our lifestyle, because of our diets, because of stress, because of toxicity, because of all the things that we live with every day that compromise our health. And you know, a lot of things that probably we don't even think about on a daily basis. So 15 years ago, we came across this product called Body Balance. And it's that blue bottle over there. How many people have not yet heard of Body Balance or don't really know anything about it? Anybody? A few people. Okay, great. It's not what we're going to focus on tonight, but I do want to share a little bit about the product because it's something that has changed my life. It's something that has changed the lives of thousands of people, literally, that we've shared it with over the years. We've been both drinking Body Balance every day for 15 years. I wouldn't be without it. It's how I start my day every morning. I love it. And how I feel now is so much healthier than literally I've ever felt in my life, including when I was a kid. I mean, it's an extraordinary thing to stand up here and be able to say, but it's true. When I first started drinking Body Balance, I felt like I was pretty healthy. You know, I've been in the health field a long time and knew what to do, knew what to eat, knew how to take care of myself. But, you know, I had certain issues that were going on with me. Hormonal issues. Every month I had PMS for a week where I was really depressed and angry and you didn't really want to be around me very much. You know, I used to get a lot of pain every month, and it was just something I lived with. And about 5 months into drinking this every day, I suddenly realized, oh my gosh, I've gone a whole month without any of that. And it really, like, it was stunning to me. And my immediate response was, okay, what else have I been doing differently? I didn't even think it could be that. I was looking at all of these other things in my life. Well, that was 15 years ago. None of those symptoms have ever come back. And over the years, I've watched hundreds and hundreds of women have a very similar response. And, you know, there were other things that it's impacted my life in lots of different ways. My energy level is at a whole different level than it used to be. My level of vitality, just my joy of life, it's amazing how different I feel to how I felt before I started, which was, you know, life was good, but I used to get tired, I used to kind of feel achy, and I don't know, it's just kind of how I was. So it's something that I literally would not be with. That's my health insurance. That's what I start my day with every day.
My story is a little bit different. I also experienced a lot more energy. I was probably like a lot of people. I had to have stimulants to get through the day, you know, caffeine, sugar, whatever's available. The challenge was that sugar high or that caffeine high, you know, you get jacked up and then clunk, get the bunk and jack up and go through the day like this, seesawed, and by the end of the day, I was just done. It's 5, 4, 6, 7 o'clock, done. Once I started drinking Body Balance, so I noticed I had energy all day. I actually got rid of the caffeine, no longer need it. The really nice thing is I found out later that all those caffeinated drinks like coffee and Red Bull and whatever, they overdrive the adrenals. They actually make you prematurely age. So all that accelerated energy comes at a huge cost. So luckily I got off that treadmill and I was able to have good energy all day, but even more importantly, I found I was sleeping better. I found I could go to sleep easier, I had better solid sleep, and I was waking up bright, and energized, and ready, curious, invigorated for the day. After a short while, I noticed that my brain was working better, probably like some of you. I thought I was just getting older. I was starting to forget stuff. You know, where are the keys? Who's this person? What's my phone number? You know, read a book and get about halfway down the page and have to go back to start again because I forgot what I just read, you know, that kind of thing. And I thought, well, there you go, getting old. But what I found out is that's not a symptom of getting old. It's a symptom of malnourishing my brain. I know that we've heard from a lot of people who have children that they have, you know, all the disorders, ADD, ADHD, whatever. And you know, that's rampant. It's an epidemic. Now, I didn't have that, but what we're finding is when their brains are fed, when they're fed Body Balance specifically, a lot of the stuff sort of mellows or clears up. The energy normalizes, the brain function improves. For me, I found that my memory improved, short-term, long-term, my ability to focus and concentrate, stick with something a long time. I was a lot less stressed. My mood mellowed out. I was a lot nicer person to be around, probably.
We both were.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. That PMS thing was, I don't know about you guys, but that was huge. I suffered from PMS. But it was pretty remarkable because now my brain is functioning as well or better than when I was young. Mm-hmm. And that's really something. I mean, I've seen people, my family members, passed on from Alzheimer's. Horrible thing. I mean, love people dearly and watch them just go away. And it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that we lose our powers. Physical powers, mental powers, our immune power. My immune system is operating at high efficiency now. Some of you may have heard this story before, but I had a reason to know. If I cut myself, maybe some of you have this, get a scrape or a cut, it took about 2 weeks to heal over, scab, and look like normal again. It takes 8 days now. 8 days, that's almost half. That's phenomenal. And with all the pandemics going around, you know, swine flu, bird flu, cat flu, I don't know, whatever's out there, those things are, because everybody travels, especially here where there's a lot of people coming through, I can't avoid those, but what I can do is make sure my immune system's strong so that I don't fall victim to the colds and diseases and epidemics. Matter of fact, I was what I call a cold magnet. You know, you ever notice children, they go to school, they come back sick. I was like that as an adult. If somebody in the room was sick, I figured, well, I got it, just, that's me, I'm down. I'd get 2, 3, 4 colds a season. In 15 years, I've had 3 colds. And that was unthinkable for me. That was unthinkable. So if you're interested in better immune functioning, you're interested in appetite suppressant. Now, I talked to a lot of people who use Body Balance, myself included. I eat about 1/3 less food than I used to have. No more caffeine, no sugar, don't crave it, don't want it. You can have it. I mean, I can have a cup of coffee. Don't want it. And I eat 1/3 less. And it's well known that people who eat less are healthier long term. So immune functioning, energy, weight management, appetite suppressant, brain power, a whole host of things. Now, I don't know what it'll do for you. I mean, you might have similar experience and you might not. We have people stand up at meetings like this and say, well, I've had asthma, I've had allergies, I've had A to Z, and I took Body Balance and it cleared up.
I think one of the things for me that is so exciting is being able to offer something to our children. You know, it's just, I watch the really sad state of children's health now, and it's getting worse. And having worked with this product for so many years, we have a whole generation of what we affectionately call Body Balance babies. Children who have been brought up on it, you know, from literally the day they were conceived. And these children are so healthy. And I often think, you know, wow, my life would have been so different if I had have been, you know, had I had something like that when I was a child. But, you know, we didn't. But we do now. And it's something for me that I'm really passionate about quality of life. Because I know, and I know probably a lot of you, know what it's like to not have your health. And it doesn't matter what else I have in my life. It doesn't matter how much money I've got, it doesn't matter where I am, it doesn't matter any of that. If I don't have my health, none of it matters. So for me, this is fundamental, absolutely fundamental. So I want to transition now into this program here that we're very, very excited about. We're in the process of launching it here in New Zealand. It's not quite here yet. Got another couple of weeks to go. So we're here to educate people about it, to let people know what it is. It's a weight management system, but unlike a lot of programs out there, what this does is it actually targets the foundation. So it targets reasons why your body's overweight in the first place. It's not just another diet, it's not just another something like that. It actually goes in to rebalance where the imbalances are. And we've been working with a test group of people in the United States for the last 6 months, having phenomenal results, really amazing results. And so I'd like to just kind of drill into a little bit of what this program is, what it involves, why it works, just give you, you know, some of the key pieces. And if you have any questions afterwards, please feel free to come up and ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as Krista mentioned, we're rolling this out in New Zealand. We actually have a test group of people in New Zealand who've been using the product as well. And it's currently on a boat, probably approaching Auckland Harbor right now. So it is available on a pre-order basis. So at the end of this, you want to try some, we can help you get that set up. You can be some of the first to have it. You can get in front of the queue. It'll be here, like Krista said, shortly.
I also just want to say a little bit about this test group of people we've been working with. It's around about 100 people, so it's quite a lot of people. And we took people from all walks of life. We had people who were pretty healthy, people who were very conscious of their health, ate very healthy, but for, whatever reason, they had those extra few kgs that maybe, from a woman having her last child and just never being able to get rid of that last little bit, right through to some very, very clinically obese people, and lots of people in between. We had all age groups, lots of different lifestyles. We had people who had never done a day of exercise in their life. We wanted to see, no matter who takes this program, what's it going to do for you? Do you have to change your whole life? No. Because we know that that's it's not a very practical thing to ask people to do. So the program, the crux of the program is actually these 3 products here. There's also other parts of the program if people want to tap into that, but it's not a necessary thing if you don't really want to go the whole 9 yards. Like, we have a diet program, we have an exercise program, we have other things available. For whoever wants to use this, that's all there as well. But it's all centered around these 3 products. So the first product, I'm going to start from the bottom and kind of work my way up here. So the first product is called Be Pure, and it's a detoxifying product. So what does that mean? One of the things that affects all of us, doesn't matter what our size, it doesn't matter who we are, we all carry around toxins, things that actually are poisonous to our bodies, even though we don't think about it every day. It's just, we breathe stuff in, we eat it with our food, we drink it with our water. It's just, we just live in a world where we're bombarded by stuff. And this amazing human body is able to deal with it to a certain extent. One of the ways it deals with it is that it sends these little fat molecules out to surround the toxic molecule and keep it from impacting your day-to-day life. So it gets stored in your fat cells. But you can only do that for so long before it does start impacting your life. That's one piece. Another piece is we have this thing called a GI tract, or a digestive tract. And one of the things that happens with most people is that it actually doesn't work the way it's supposed to work. And so we end up with a buildup in our colon, we end up with digestive problems and issues and all kinds of things. And so what we want to do, so people can get the very best out of this program, is we want to start by just clearing some of that stuff out. And so that's what this does, and it's really simple. It's powder that you just make into a drink and you drink it. Very, very simple. It's not about taking a bunch of pills 64 times a day, because it needs to be simple for people. It needs to be easy so that you can have your life, you can do what you want to do, and have this program work for you. So that's the first piece. And you do that just for the first week of every month. Then we have this piece in the middle here called Be Full. And that's really what it does, is make you feel full. It's a meal replacement. So it's a shake that you make up that tastes really good. It tastes like a milkshake. You can mix it with anything, doesn't matter. You can even mix it with water. And it takes the place of a meal. You can do that either once or twice a day, your choice, doesn't matter. And there's lots of different goodies in there, lots of vitamins and minerals and all kinds of stuff, so that you're getting what you would get in a meal. But you're getting it in a way that your body only has to have this much and you don't really want any more. So that's that piece. Then this one here up the top called Be Lean. You know, if this is the center of the program, this is the center of these three. And this is the piece that I am really excited about, because there is nothing like this on the market. And this is the little goodie that's been doing all of the work that I'm about to tell you about. So when I said at the beginning that this program targets why your body is out of balance in the first place, there's a lot of reasons for that. So there's things that happen in our body to make it go out of whack here, there, and everywhere. And if we don't address those things, it doesn't matter how many diets you go on, it doesn't matter how much other stuff you do, it's just going to yo-yo back again. We need to get to the cause. One of the causes is what we call glucose spikes. Now, when we eat food, our bodies break that food down, and one of the first things that the body does is that food's supposed to give us energy, right? That's where we get our energy from our food, it's supposed to. And so what the body does is it creates sugar, and it shoots it into our bloodstream. However, the more out of balance our body becomes, the more the body does that when it shouldn't. And the body takes that sugar and turns it into fat. And it's not just sugar and carbohydrates. The body does that with protein, the body does that with a whole lot of other stuff. And so what we need to do is change that. Get that process back to where it's balanced. And that affects your insulin levels. It affects your what we call blood sugar highs and lows. It affects all kinds of stuff. So have you ever had a big meal and all you want to do is lie down and go to sleep? That's that spike, right? So it goes shooting into your bloodstream and half an hour later you crash. And it shouldn't do that. Your body should not operate like that. So that's one piece that's addressed by this little thing up here, is bringing all that back into balance. There's another piece that's addressed by this that is also a really key piece, and that is when things like that are out of balance in our body, not only does our body build up fat on the outside, we don't think about this, it's building up fat on the inside at the same time. It doesn't just go one way, it goes this way as well. And so we end up building up fat around our organs, around our belly, right? Belly fat, organ fat. So around our heart, around our liver, around our kidneys. I mean, it's really insidious. And this is the fat that literally kills people, because it's a different kind of fat that builds up on the inside to what you see on the outside. The fat that builds up around your organs and also gets into your bloodstream, by the way, has a reactive process that it kicks off in your body. It creates inflammation in your body, which is really, really destructive. So not only are your organs not able to function properly because they're being squeezed out, right? If you have a heart that's beating and all of a sudden it's covered with visceral fat, it's just not going to be able to work properly, right? So we need to get rid of that stuff. So at the same time as your organs are being squeezed, they're also being inflamed. It's really, really serious. And all of us have it. I have it. You don't just have to be, overweight to have this kind of stuff going on in your body. So we need to find a way to get rid of that. And that's what this product does, is it's able to target and break down that stuff we call visceral fat. And that's a key to being healthy and really having a healthy life. You want to be there for your children? You want to watch your grandkids grow up? You're not going to if you don't get rid of that stuff. So that's the second piece. The third piece is how we actually metabolize our food. The more weight we carry, the slower our metabolism rate is. I mean, most people are kind of aware of that. And so what if we find something that in a healthy way raises your metabolism rate to where it should be for your body to function properly? What a gift. And again, that's what this product is able to do. There's a lot of other pieces to the picture. I'm just giving you a few key pieces here. But this is a phenomenal product that, I mean, I am just watching people's lives change. You know, one of the things that happens, how many people have been on a diet ever in your life? Wow, look at that. At least 2/3 of the room. And most people, right, 2 hands up, right? Yeah. I mean, most people who've been on a diet, it's not just one diet, right? It's way more than that. And so what I've seen over the years is when people try and lose weight, and most people who do that, I mean, I take my hat off to you. I was having a conversation before about not, like, I haven't had that problem in my life. I've been very blessed to not have that problem. The only way I can understand it is just from all of the people I've been working with. But I know the toll that it takes, emotionally as well as physically. And so if we can offer people something that can take that away, what a gift. I had a phone call with somebody last week who's been one of the test group people in the United States. He was crying on the phone, and it almost makes me cry, because he said for the first time ever in his life, he was able to go to the beach and play with his kids. I mean, it's huge to be able to offer something like that to people. So one of the things we want to do tonight is there's a couple of people here who are part of the test group here in New Zealand. They've only just started. So they haven't been on it for months or even weeks. So they've only just started, but I would love to just have them share what their experience is. And is there anything else you want to add before we do that?
I've been on the product now for about a month and a half. And as you can see, I don't carry around a lot of external fat, but I've got, like a lot of people, I've got a lot of visceral fat, that interior fat. And it is deadly. It's the source of inflammation. Inflammation is the basis of a lot of the chronic diseases that we know. And that blood sugar spiking, I mean, that's deadly stuff. Diabetes and all these epidemics. And I'm hoping, Krista, you might talk a little bit about how this affects the hormonal balance as well, and some of the ingredients in here.
Yeah.
But let me just say this. I've talked to a lot of people who have dieted and they felt wretched. You know, they just felt like, tired and headachy and cranky. And people that I know that are doing this, myself included, I feel great taking this. I actually feel an energy lift, moderate energy lift, but a mental lift. And it doesn't feel like a struggle at all.
Actually, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, do you think?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. So one of the other pieces that it targets, and this is a really important piece, is again bringing the hormones back into balance, because hormonal imbalance is one of the keys to excess weight. Absolute key. And that's one of the things that we have to address. We have to find a way to address it in a way that is healthy. And it's not just, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone. It's the whole endocrine system and a lot of hormones that are never addressed, never talked about, that are totally involved in how our bodies carry fat and how our bodies handle the muscle to fat ratio in our body, how we break down fat or not, right? There's hormones like this one called adiponectin that is really responsible for the breakdown of fat in our body. The more fat you carry, the less adiponectin you have in your body. And so what if we found a way to actually increase that to a healthy level? Again, yes, that's what this does. And so that's one little piece. There's another hormone called leptin. Some of you may have heard of leptin. It's starting to get a little bit of a press out there. Leptin does a couple of things. Again, it's a hormone. It lives in your fat cells. And one of the things that leptin does is that it's supposed to let your brain know when you're full, or when you've had enough to eat, or when your body has enough nutrients to be satisfied. How many times have you had a meal, maybe felt really full, and 10 minutes later gone to the fridge and gone, what can I eat now? Yeah, I can see some of you laughing. I've done it. That's what's called leptin insensitivity. Your body is insensitive to that signal. It's not getting the signal. Again, the more weight you carry, the less leptin you actually have in your cells. And so, again, what if we could find a way to increase the level of that hormone and reconnect that messaging to the brain so that the brain goes, oh, I'm not hungry, I don't want any more. I'm good, thank you. And one of the things that we hear over and over from the people that have been on this test group is, I don't even feel like eating. I feel so good. I don't even want to eat. You know, or maybe I get to like 4 or 5 o'clock and I'm ready for tea, and you know, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, how many people have had the experience of dieting and feeling deprived? Like it's just,
oh, yeah.
I can't have that, and then what do you think about all day? I want that, I want that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great just to have the hormones, the body in balance, and just feel, yeah, I'm full. And then when you want to eat, you eat to the place where you're satisfied, and then just stop. And this is pretty remarkable, and I'm hoping you could just take a minute and talk about some of the ingredients. And because what we've seen too is people who diet, they have this yo-yo Krista talked about. Lose the weight, get the weight. Lose the weight, get the weight. It's just a cycle, and how frustrating.
And it's very, very stressful.
Yeah, it's stressful on the body, it's stressful on the brain too.
Yeah, one of the things again that we've constantly been hearing from people is, I feel so good. I mean, I feel so good, so happy, so energized. It's amazing how people are feeling on this program. So some of the key ingredients in here are things like, and you've probably heard of some of these things if you've been looking out there. Green coffee bean extract. That's one of the key pieces that addresses the glucose, insulin, blood sugar triangle in your body. White kidney bean addresses how your body metabolizes carbohydrates. Something called fucoxanthin, which is a seaweed extract. That's one of the ones that really targets that visceral fat in your body. It actually works. All of these things work with your body system. So they're foods that work with the enzymes in your body, work with the proteins in your body, because these are all the things that work together to make our bodies function properly.
You know, one thing I love about this, it's not a bunch of, you read the label, it's not a bunch of chemicals you can't pronounce, some stuff that you don't know what's going to do to you. I mean, red raspberry ketones, green tea, African mango, mangosteen. I mean, these are all foods. This stuff's safe. That's the other thing. You know, I'll take this stuff for a long time. I've lost a lot of visceral fat inside. You wouldn't know it necessarily by looking at the outside, but watch the kgs shift. Just watch it go, and I know it's going somewhere. I feel lighter. I'm more live. I can move around easier, and I know I'm getting a lot healthier, and I feel better. I just feel
Absolutely.
better.
Yeah.
And it's safe. I'm not afraid to take it because I know what's in it. Look for yourself.
Michael mentioned mangosteen. There's a couple of ingredients in here called spiranthus and mangosteen rind, the rind of the mangosteen fruit. And when those two work together, they actually have an extraordinary impact on the body because they work at a genetic level. See, all of us have what we call gene expression, and we're genetically kind of like our parents or whatever, but we can actually change that gene expression. Like we can, there are genes that predispose us to carrying a lot of weight, and there are genes that actually kind of retard that process. And what these two ingredients do is they work on that level. And it's extraordinary what's happened when, because these things have been in clinical studies for a few years now, and just watching what's coming out of that is extraordinary. So, I mean, when I talk about targeting the cause, it really goes right in there.
Yeah, wouldn't it be great to break the chain?
Yeah.
I mean, we're seeing children that they're carrying around way too much weight. Wouldn't it be great to just break that chain once and for all, so they're not passing that thing along?
Sorry. So you're seeing huge drops in cholesterol levels? Or?
Yes, absolutely,
Dilation.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Type 2 diabetes, all kinds of things. Because all of these are symptomatic of these issues that we're talking about.
Yeah, this is a cutting-edge product, guys. You won't find anything like it at the corner pharmacist. It's just not out there. Krista, I'm proud to say, was the primary formulator for this with her background experience. So, yeah. And obviously, she has a wealth of knowledge, and will be available a little bit later to answer any specific questions you have. But you will not find this anywhere else. This is revolutionizing people's lives. I would strongly encourage you to try it. And, here's a couple of good pieces of news. Number one, the company believes in this so much that it has a 90-day satisfaction money-back guarantee. What does that mean? That means you can try it 3 months. Day 89 and a half, you don't like the color of the box, call up and say, hey, I don't like the color of the box, I want my money back. They'll say, great, where do you want us to send the refund? So there's no risk for you to try it. We believe in it so much. We say, just try it. You're going to love it. You'll love the results. You'll love the way you feel. Even more importantly, the product cost is in Kiwi dollars about $11, $12 a day for the 1 meal program. If you want the 2 meals, about $15, $16, something like that. Now I invite you to add up what's a cup of coffee and a muffin and lunch and breakfast. You could easily spend that kind of money. Now the good news is that not only can you get the money back if you don't like the way you feel, but how about free? Would you like to get the product for free? I mean, I love free. Free's great. I just love free. If you simply use it over those 90 days or as long as you want to take it, and just get 3 people to use it, friends, whatever, you refer it for 3, yours is free for the rest of your life if they keep buying it. So we're making this very available, and I would strongly encourage you to try it. Strongly encourage you to try it. You have nothing to lose except the obvious. So.
Okay, so Francisca, can we turn it back over to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Right.